Good morning and thank you for joining us here on Up with KREM. I'm Brandon T. Jones, and we also want to welcome you in if you're streaming us on KREM 2 Plus. Lots of headlines this morning, but we'll go ahead and get things started with meteorologist Thomas Patrick. He's just been working so hard. It's been quite a few active weeks of winter weather. February just kind of flipped a switch. But Thomas, what can we expect as we head into our weekend?
I'll tell you what, Brandon, isn't this the La Nina winter that we were promising all along? Just took until February for us to get some real snowfall in the area. But I'll tell you what, Brandon was the first to tell me how foggy it was here in Spokane as I jumped into the office. And he's got it right on the nose because many areas across the inland Northwest are experiencing dense fog this morning, a freezing fog all the same. Dense fog advisories do go until 9 this morning. Visibility's not only near 1/4 of a mile, but being reported as a 1/4 mile, especially right through our metro. Spokane, Deer Park, and Coeur d'Alene all included in that 1/4 mile visibility report. And then here are your temperatures throughout the metro, while Spokane International Airport stands out at 19 degrees at the cold spot. Temperatures in the mid to upper 20s, all the same, are below the freezing mark. So that fog is a freezing fog. Mind bridges and overpasses, which might be a bit icier than normal this morning.
All right, Thomas, we'll check back in here with you pretty soon. Right now, though, this is a live look at Division and Lincoln. You can see some of that fog that Thomas was just telling us about. I know on my drive in the Maple Street Bridge, you could barely see in front of you. You know, it was just that foggy. So keep that in mind as you head out the doors for your morning commute. But here on Up with KREM, we'll keep a look on those traffic cameras because we bring you weather and traffic together every 30 minutes. It's 6:01 right now. We do want to give you an update regarding a train colliding with a car in Medical Lake. It's a story we first brought you as breaking news on Up with KREM yesterday. We know that 2 people were involved and suffered minor injuries and were taken to the hospital. Officials on scene told me it was a low impact type of accident. The area was shut down for a while so crews could remove train cars from the tracks, but it was quickly reopened. New and breaking overnight, Israel says a body Hamas released. It's not one of the hostages. This morning, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu says the militant group was supposed to release an Israeli mother killed in Gaza. Instead, he claims the body belongs to a Palestinian woman. In a statement, Netanyahu criticized the handover of the wrong remains as a, quote, cruel and malicious violation. Hamas claims the remains appear to have been mixed with others after an Israeli airstrike. Hamas is expected to release another round of living hostages tomorrow. Yael Alexander, the mother of the last living American hostage, hopes her son will be one of them.
He came to protect Israel. Where is Israel? They need to protect him. They need to bring him home.
6 Israeli hostages held by Hamas and hundreds of Palestinian prisoners held by Israel are expected to be part of those handovers tomorrow. Also new overnight, Republican senators passed a $340 billion budget framework. Republicans say the framework is basically a down payment on President Donald Trump's agenda and includes some of the President Trump's key priorities, including funding for mass deportations and border security, as well as trillions of dollars in tax breaks. This vote doesn't send out money just yet.
The yeas are 51. The nays are 49. The confirmation is confirmed.
Well, that right there was the Senate vote confirming Kash Patel as the new FBI director. Patel is now the first Indian American to take the post. 2 Republicans, Susan Collins of Maine and Lisa Murkowski of Alaska, joined Democrats in opposing Patel's confirmation. Both worried he would use the office to settle political scores. Patel has denied such ambitions. Happening today, the man accused of killing the United Healthcare CEO in New York City is set to appear before a judge. Prosecutors and Luigi Mangione's defense team are expected to give updates on the case and even set a trial date. Mangione has pleaded not guilty to multiple counts of murder, including murder as an act of terrorism. He also faces federal charges that could carry the possibility of the death penalty. Back here in the inland Northwest, Coeur d'Alene police revoked the business license of 5 massage parlors following allegations of illegal sexual activity. KREM 2's Christian Garza shares how police got to this point in the investigation.
Coeur d'Alene police say they have been following this case for about a year now after reports came in last spring.
In Coeur d'Alene, we're concerned about crime, and we're going to aggressively investigate crime because we don't want it in our town.
An investigation almost a year in the making results in the loss of business licenses for 5 massage parlors in Coeur d'Alene. Coeur d'Alene Police Sergeant Jared Renault says Oriental Massage Spa, Red Sea Massage, Oriental Bodywork, Asia Massage, and Chinese Massage all had their business licenses revoked on Wednesday after police got several reports of unwanted sexual touching.
At some point during the massage, there were sexual favors either offered or started.
Sergeant Renault says that police are also concerned that some of the employees of the massage businesses may be victims of sex trafficking and were brought here from different countries with limited English.
Different girls are moved to different businesses, especially once they're identified as being a potential sex worker. They kind of disappear and move to other towns where these employers can move them to.
In a release from Coeur d'Alene Police, they said that despite the businesses losing their license, local prosecutors have declined to press criminal charges. Sergeant Renault says it's hard to pinpoint who is at fault during these investigations because it just turns into a he said, she said situation when different businesses and clients are interviewed following the reports. Now, how do you know if you're booking a massage at a legitimate facility? Sergeant Renault says there are certain characteristics that set other massage parlors apart from the ones that had their licenses revoked. Like they don't have specific signs advertising their business. Instead, it's just a generic neon sign. The windows of the business are covered with signs or curtains so people can't see inside, as well as operating on a cash basis and not having a customer log.
Those are all concerning, and I'd be, as a customer, I would have concerns about that.
Coeur d'Alene Police say and ask if anyone has any additional information about any of these parlors to contact them directly. And if you or someone you know is dealing with domestic violence or sexual abuse, we have a hotline that you can call up on our website, KREM.com. In Coeur d'Alene, Christian Garza, KREM 2 News.
A local psychologist is trying to change how local farmers view their mental health. That's why she took her clinic to Greenbluff to meet farmers face to face. Attendees discussed the anxiety they and others face caring not just for their families, but in some cases, entire communities. The National Rural Health Association reports farmers are 3.5 times more likely to commit suicide than any other population. She says big stress factors are things farmers can't control.
Maybe prices are lower than expected for the fruits maybe that they were growing. So it's a whole plethora, a wide variety of stressors. I think farmers as a group are very resilient and they're very self-reliant. So I think thinking about reaching out to others might be harder for them. So that's kind of why we have this effort to make it as easy as possible.
So during the meeting, she also connected farmers with resources to help with anxiety or depression, such as helplines known as Farm Aid and Agri-Stress.
6:08, another look at our weather forecast where conditions are quite cold this morning. Most of our current temperatures are in the 20s, though Spokane International Airport is reporting 19 degrees and fog at the moment. So we have quite the freezing fog event for this morning. Be careful for any black ice or just overall icy conditions on roadways this morning. But then moving forward, we're going to be expecting quite a bit of rainfall into the region. First hits this evening, lighter rain or a wintry mix at first, but notice how our temperatures are going to be decently warm this evening. That's why I think in Spokane it will be rain. Snow would be in our northern areas. And then the weekend ahead, even heavier rain plus melting snow all on the way. And that's going to lead to a flooding potential for the inland northwest. Coming up, we'll show you how much rain overall is in the forecast and the impacts that that's going to have on our region.